Welcome to this episode of Let's Chat MetaPWR. My name is Anna Foley, and tonight we're thrilled to welcome Helen Milne as our special guest. Helen brings a wealth of experience to the table with an extensive background in healthcare. She's a registered nurse and midwife and has held management roles in hospitals from rural to emergency nursing to child health, maternity, chronic disease, aged care. Her dedication to helping others thrive in their health is truly inspiring. So Helen started the MetaPWR system. She's found remarkable transformations. Helen, you've shared with me that you're full of energy and vitality, pain-free, and finally sleeping restoratively after many years of shift work. We're excited to hear more about your incredible journey, Helen. So let's get started. Can you take us back to why you started on MetaPWR? How were things for you back then?
I think as a younger person, I was always fit, active, health, exercise. That was all part of a priority of life. But just when you hit your 50s, it's like, something's different. And things just seem to slow down. And over that particular decade, just get a few more aches and stiffness. I think I was more comfort eating, but a lot of comfort eating comes from not sleeping, those cravings in the afternoon. So when I heard about MetaPWR, I was really keen to go. Yeah, I couldn't wait. But I did wait till it came to Australia, actually.
So you got started on it then.
Yeah.
What sort of changes did you notice first up?
I actually wrote it all down because somebody told me to take my measurements and take pictures, which I did. I thought that was a great idea because I wouldn't have believed it now. So I think within 2 days, I just actually was starting to feel, I didn't think I had brain fog, Anna, but I clearly did have brain fog. There was just a difference. I just felt like more clarity, everything was just a lot easier. Whether that was energy too, I'm not sure, because I'm often bubbling out of myself until I crash. That's just me. But anyway, that was day 2. And then the next thing that I noticed, by about day 5, I just had an incredible surge of, it was like a super energy, like a superwoman. And I thought I felt like a bit like an Energizer bunny. We talk about mitochondria like that, or I do. I felt like a mitochondrial. I was just ready to go. Clarity, decision-making, thoughts. It just all felt better. And I actually felt happier in myself.
What you're sharing here, was that early on, Helen, in the first?
Yeah, that was actually day 5 that happened to me. Because I wrote this all down because somebody told me to. I tend to do what people say. You can tell what kind of personality I am.
How great that you could now look back and reflect on that. You've got it documented. Yeah. So a great tip to pass on to anyone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. About the 2-week mark, that's how long it took me to decide to sleep. I seemed to be fighting that. But then this particular morning, on the 14th morning, I woke up and I'd had 5.5 hours sleep. Boy, was that exciting for me, because I was the intermittent. I woke up after 2 hours, I'd doze off, go to the toilet, whatever, all those things. But I had dreamt all night. I don't know if anyone else has had these dreams, but such vivid dreams. And it just felt like good dreaming, wonderful. I just felt so happy again. Another layer of happiness. This is how MetaPWR has been for me the whole way. But then on day 37, it's now the end of August. Now we're getting just a little bit hot, and I've gone and got a pair of shorts out, and they're falling off me. I have actually lost 5 centimeters in size. That's a bit crazy, isn't it? Shrinking fat cells. And then as we progress through months 4 and 5, my clothes just kept getting looser. I just kept feeling better, happier, that focus, that energy. I know those cravings were gone because I wasn't looking for that 3 o'clock anything anymore. And we actually now only eat twice a day. So we are eating less. There's a saving, and people can afford MetaPWR if they eat less. It's outrageous, isn't it? The cost of.
And did you notice your body changing shape, putting on the clothes?
Yes.
Was a way to notice, but you could visually see?
Yes. And that And it's a pity you can't get that photo up, because at the 8-month mark, that same dress was just hanging off me. And that was only 8 kilos that I'd lost. Because originally I'd put on about probably 10 kilos in all. And all of a sudden, my size is just 2 to 3 sizes smaller. And everybody's noticing. And then have got a bit more clarity in the skin. People are saying, "You're looking good, girl." And I'm thinking, girl sounds lovely. I think that looking good's good too.
It's lovely. Thank you for sharing. And so it's helping you in that mental wellness side of things,
Yeah.
as well as the physical changes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I
Mm.
don't think I was unhappy, but I feel like it's brought another layer of the clarity, the energy, just feeling good in yourself and knowing that you are healthier. And I think I told you at the beginning, I do a lot of yoga. It's so much easier to hold a deep, long pose now. And I'm doing more like level 3 without any trouble. Whereas it used to be like, oh, hips were hurting or something was hurting in the previous 12 months. So that was great.
And did it help you with motivation for that gentle, active movement? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all been good for me. So no more cravings. And at that 14-month mark, here we are now, and I just feel good. And my body composition is still changing. I notice that all the time. I've just gone out and bought more tops because I seem to have gone down maybe another size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
it mightn't be that obvious, but it is if the top's hanging off you.
for you, yeah. So
Yeah.
you're finding it's encouraging you to eat consciously. So having those 2 meals. Are you having the MetaPWR Assist capsule with those meals, or how do you take the actual products?
Yeah, I always take the MetaPWR Assist with our bigger meal, which tends to me to be more in the middle of the day now. It seems logical not to go to bed with that full stomach, which we'd always done forever. So it feels better now to have the bigger meal and a smaller meal later. And I think it's actually forced us into an intermittent fasting. We are going 16 hours before we think about eating. So that's eating less, etc. That wasn't deliberate. That's just happened.
Yeah, and that's the interesting
Probably a
part of
bonus
it.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you're not having those cravings anymore. What sort of things were you craving?
Oh, chocolate. I'm a chocolate. The coffee and chocolate, and just don't know when to stop. Had no sense of this isn't right. You shouldn't eat the whole block. I just did.
Wow.
So now, yeah, if you have a piece of chocolate now, it's deliberate and you know you're doing it, you'll get a bit of a blood glucose rush and you've
Right.
done that. Yeah.
You can feel it.
You can feel it. Yeah.
And so you started along with your husband. Was he on the same train as you,
Yes.
wanting to give it a go? Tell us about his journey with it.
So Ron was typically the aging man. Oh my gosh, just watching the deteriorate. I know. I hope he's not listening. He was shuffling. He had the herniated disc, so he had that back pain. You know how old people really start to stoop over? He was stooping over. Daily things like just putting your shoes on. He was that guy. He was struggling to do that. And it was terrible just watching him deteriorating. He's got diabetes, he had blood pressure, he had gout, the herniated discs, and he was a grumpy old man. I know. I told you not to tell him. Don't tell anybody, everybody. He's going to hear this at some point, isn't he? But that whole process for him has just been probably a little bit slower than what I was saying, because that aging was just terrible. And that's what this product's about, isn't it? And that's what had attracted us to it. So he took probably about 10 to 14 days, and he noticed that he was moving better. That's aching lower disc pain. Those herniated discs were there with him for years, and suddenly he just wasn't noticing that anymore. So he's standing a bit more erect. He's starting to come for a walk with the dog as the months are passing. I think it was wonderful. And energy is something people that are feeling the opposite don't have. He was gaining energy. Yeah.
How
It was
wonderful.
really exciting. But he had one super exciting thing. As a diabetic, they have those blood tests all the time. And just that month as we started MetaPWR, he had a prostate test, elevated prostate test that showed up, and the doctor examined him, and he had 2 very small pea-sized lumps. That means off to the urologist. Okay, that's fine. We're there within 3 to 4 weeks. So we might have been on MetaPWR maybe about 4 weeks at that point. And after much discussion with that urologist, we decided to take a wait and see approach, just see what happens in 6 months. If nothing gets worse, etc., just come back. So now when we eventually get back into him for everything, Ron's had repeat scans, etc., all the blood tests, and we're there at 8 months, which I think is just so exciting. And this guy's saying, your prostate's normal. Where are those lumps? And he's looking, he's got his, like, he's enlarging everything. And I'm sitting there starting to grin because I'm thinking, wow, what's happened? Anyway, off he goes for a little examination, and they seem to be gone. So that was absolutely super exciting. His cholesterol's normal. He's off his blood pressure tablets, and he's off his diabetic medication now. So this is all truly wonderful. Yeah.
He's a changed man.
He is. He's not that, I'm going to say it again, grumpy old man.
Yeah.
He's a different person. You can hear him holding conversation with people, which I don't think he could be bothered. He was that person that was just making his way to the chair and sitting there watching TV, whatever. But now he's out there with the dog, etc., and it's good. It's changed our relationship.
I was just about to say it'd be beautiful for your relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're both pretty happy. He was never a poor sleeper, but he sleeps more soundly on MetaPWR, definitely. And I think when you're more rested, everything feels better too, doesn't it? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
What a change that's been for you.
Yeah, because he seems to have done a lot of internal things. I see us as opposite, but I feel like I was aging too, but not at that accelerated level that he was going at. Yeah.
And that's how MetaPWR seems to work. It targets what each person needs. And for you, writing it down was helpful to see how the changes were happening. What about for your husband? Were you taking notes on his behalf? Okay.
Yeah, when I wrote whatever I wrote down, I would just write if I could. Originally, it was harder to get information out of him. When he became happier, he would say a lot more about how he was feeling. So that was much easier to write down. He hasn't lost a lot of weight, by the way. He's done a lot of stuff internally, and now his weight and is just starting to change. And that's 14 months in. So that's the opposite to what happened to me.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And was it easy for you both to make it into a daily habit, or was it something you had to consciously begin?
I started just doing everything in the morning, except for the assist. But I found if I flipped over, like they do advise perhaps to play around with the collagen, and I started taking it at night. And that has helped me. Actually, probably can get 6 to 7 hours sleep, maybe not always exactly in a row. I still a little bit up and down, but I still dream and I still feel it's really. He went straight to sleep. But just lately, we've started to he's gotten restless at night. So he started the evening with the MetaPWR. So we're both taking the collagen at night, the assist with the main meal at lunch. And I'm a bit lazy with the oil. I just put it in the assist, the collagen as we take it. So we're not drinking extra oil actually anymore. We were in the beginning.
And do you have the beadlets? Do you find they're handy, or you've got enough with the collagen and the...
Well, to be honest, we haven't actually really needed them because I felt the curbing of the appetite I was getting that from the other. And I think if I travelled, that'd be an awesome thing, the beadlets.
Yeah, that's
just
a good
to have with you. Yeah.
And were you already taking Lifelong Vitality before you started MetaPWR?
Yes, we were.
And
yes.
your husband as well?
Yes, he was always taking it too. Yeah.
Okay. So you had that foundation and then just bringing in the MetaPWR.
And sometimes I wonder when people take it without the foundational, because we all tend to think we're eating as much as we can or should, but nothing's there anymore, is it? Nutrients, etc., in the soils. Yeah. People don't always see it that way, though.
I guess it takes awareness and coming to that personal choice that you want to
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is so easy. They've made it easy for us, really, haven't they?
They have.
What sort of advice do you give, Helen, if someone's thinking about starting with MetaPWR and lifelong vitality? What do you say to that person?
I think lifelong vitality is interesting in itself, and I think you have to take it slowly because some people just aren't used to that and they might have to take it at a much slower rate. I've had a friend just recently that's taken 2 to 3 months to get to the correct dosage, but she ate so poorly. She didn't sleep at all at night. She's one of those people that played those games all through the night and then wondered why she felt terrible all day. Didn't matter how much sleep, even if she was in bed for 5 hours, it's not what she was meant to do. And with the MetaPWR, she's had to play around a bit, but taking it at night, she's actually starting to sleep a little bit at night, but she still wakes up wanting to play, what is it, Sudoku or something? What is that game? She's obsessed. I think it's like that's a bad habit, isn't it? She's got to change her habit. Yeah.
MetaPWR might change that. It does address addiction.
Slowly. She's on, this is her 4th month just going. And it's been a slow process. I say stick with it. You can't just give 1 month ago, because look at the change. I always say, I show people the photos and they just open their mouth because it's huge, the change in just me. And that's been a transition over a period of time.
So you've changed physically, visually, as well as how you're feeling about yourself and about life.
Yeah. I tell you, I'd have to be saying I'm a little bit jealous. Ron's skin is really quite, not too many lines. He's got that clarity like your skin is, just glowing. And I think, how is that fair? But anyway, this is my journey. And he's
Helen, I must admit, you do look stunning, especially compared to before MetaPWR. I didn't know you very well, but I would see you at events or at things like that. And you do look like you're reversing your aging. So
I feel like I am.
Yeah.
And if I was going to say anything to anybody, if I could just choose one product of the whole doTERRA range, I'm going to a desert island with the collagen. I love it. They better to give me an orange box when they float me over to that island.
That sounds fun. Oh dear. And did you like the taste of the collagen from the beginning, or did you have to tell us about that?
I think it's an acquired taste, the collagen, really. And a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. After a week or two, it's, oh, I like it now. And it must be, I think that's mental, because as soon as you're liking it, you've already felt something. Whatever it is has made you feel this drink's really worth it. And now it's just good. Do you think?
That's so interesting that you mentioned that. No one's ever said it, but I've often thought that. Is it because once you've had a noticeable change, then you start liking the taste because you know it's doing well for you? Maybe there's psychology there.
Maybe there is. Anyway, I really enjoy it now. It's not a problem.
Yeah. Something you look forward to.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, it's doing well for you. It's been amazing to hear your story. Is there anything else you want to share? I know you've got your notes there. Is there anything?
No, I just think it's really wonderful to be feeling joyful and happy and knowing you're on a better trajectory to old age. Because once you start to have those bits and pieces, do you need something down there, Nee? We've got something to give it. And I feel it's wonderful to just be able to keep going. This is how I feel about MetaPWR. I love it. I love doTERRA. I love telling people about it if they'll listen to me. Yeah.
That's so good. So do you find it's often the answer for things that are going on? You can just go, oh, MetaPWR.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. If people would give it a chance, they will feel better. but it may be months, and it could be 6 months or 10 months for some people. But little things are happening all the time, and they just mightn't be quite as aware about their body, but as they start to feel good, they'll just go, thank you.
I think you're really right there. Often we compare ourselves to others and think, oh, it hasn't made these big differences for me, or it's just a different time frame. Or like for Ron, it was helping internally, which he
Yes.
might not have known about if he hadn't had that trip to the doctor and then found out the lumps had gone, and he may not have even known all that was happening, would he?
No. That curbing of the appetite and the stabilising of the blood sugar has brought him completely off MetaPWR, or the metformin, I should say, that he was on. So that assist is his key thing every single day. And I guess now I'm thinking, because I'm listening more to what people are saying, 2 to 3 a day with all or any meal that you have is got to be the way to go. And I've just started doing that with him this week. So we'll let you know next time.
We'll need an update. We'll have a 6-month check-in. Yeah.
Because he might do what people have been doing, lose that weight faster now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Yeah.
It's like a treasure chest. We don't know what the MetaPWR is going to address first and then ongoing. Same for you, Helen.
Yes.
What is it going to tend to next?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
But I can tell everybody, if I continue to feel like this, I would say, what have you got to lose? Just try it. Yes.
So encouraging to hear your story. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're vibrant. You're looking so beautiful. Do you find that you are telling people about it in conversation, or how does it come up for you?
I suppose it is usually when people just mention something that's, I didn't sleep last night, or it can just be anything really, can't it? I just feel lousy today, or I can't stop eating. Or it's easy to lead into it because people just say things all day, don't they? About, I've got a sore back, I've got something. Yeah. Or I don't like these wrinkles anymore. And who does? Isn't it? Does.
It's like when we watch a really good TV show or a movie, or we go to a great restaurant and we want to tell people about it, isn't it?
Yes.
So same with MetaPWR. We know it works.
Yes.
We know it helps with all these things.
Yes. So I just say, I've got something if you want to have a go. I saw a lady on Facebook one day, and she was just saying, and I had met her years ago, and she was just saying how terrible she felt, and she had the long COVID. Am I allowed to say that word? That's what she'd been told. And she said, I don't think I can feel any worse. I just wrote back to her, want to try something, want to know about something that might help. She hasn't looked back. She's been on it 8 months now, and she just feels like another woman. Yeah.
So good.
There is
so much. Yeah, the energy.
Yeah, everything. She's shifted some weight. She's just sleeping. Yeah, she's going to work, rekindled her relationship with her husband. Yeah, in a very similar, it's lovely. But she had fallen back because she had pain and just felt slow and sluggish and unwell all the time. Yeah, so she's done exceptionally. And yes, she's got her daughter in New Zealand on it, and so it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, it does help all ages of adults, so why not? And what you're saying there is it's interconnected, isn't it? Our sleep and our pain-free and our eating habits and our relationships, they're all connected in. And the MetaPWR can just be that piece of the puzzle that you've been searching for. It just makes it all slot in. Yeah.
And for many women that are menopausal, it seems like the alignment for metabolic symptoms is exactly the same as menopausal symptoms personified for Paul when you've got menopausal symptoms, but it's a wonderful product for people perimenopause, etc.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
There we go. Yes, give it a go. It's
give it a go.
Very convenient. I love how it's portioned out for us even. Yes, it's keeping the collagen fresh, so it activates once you mix it with the water, but also then you're not even having to measure anything. How easy is that, Helen?
It is simple. And if you have the little whisk, it's just done. Yeah, I love that little whisk. I tell everybody to get one of those. Yeah.
Makes it mix in really well. And then you add your drop of the MetaPWR oil blend.
Yes, and have it then. In the beginning, I did have the oil more frequently. I thought maybe that was the secret sauce, but I don't think so much that's a secret sauce. The system is the secret sauce, and you've got to use it to the way it suits your body the best. Yeah.
Yes. And how do you remember to take it, Helen? Do you have it out on the bench, or what are your tips there?
Yes. Those 2 orange sachets are always sitting there, especially when we shifted to the evening to take it. That was easy to forget. So sitting there with the little whisk, just looking at me all day, and I'm thinking, So you can't forget it. You've got to walk past. It's the only thing on the bench. Yeah.
And are you having that right before you go to sleep? Close
About 8 p.m. usually, but we do go to bed fairly early. We're up early and to bed early because I do the markets on the weekend. We're up at 3:30, silly hours. Yes.
You do too. I've seen your beautiful displays, the photos.
Crazy hours. Yeah. Yeah. For older folk. Any folk.
MetaPWR. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you again so much, Helen. We will have that 6-month check-in to hear how you and Ron are going.
Thank you, Anna.
Oh, it was lovely. Really clear, very encouraging. And I'm sure there's a couple of tips in there that people will take on and will be grateful for. So thanks so much, Helen.
Take care.